Hello guys, this is Pat from Pat back at it again, and today we have the second video of the week regarding Monk Summoner. This is actually the second option, the second most voted option of the pool of the previous week, of the last week, and we have, of course, as you may have seen from the thumbnail, Monk WITCHCRAFTERS. So before jumping right into it, guys, just a quick reminder: if you enjoy the content, please do like and subscribe. I really appreciate it and it really helps me a lot. Let's jump right into it. So I'm here with Arcana actually, and the skill Show of Nightmares. This is actually a classic skill to use with WITCHCRAFTERS, as it really synergizes with a deck that plays a lot of spell cards, and because as you can see right there, can be used if you have 3 or more spell cards with different names in your graveyard. Add 1 random spell from your graveyard to your hand, and then you have to return a card from your hand to the deck once per duel. No requirements in terms of life points, and here it goes. This is my final version, actually the version that I think it's optimized. So we have the classic stuff right here, nothing special. We have Shmira, we have Madame de Rey, we have just one Jenny, a couple of Paitore. The thing is, Shmira actually should be played at 3 instead of the Jenny, maybe even 3 Paitore or Pittore. So this should be Italian, so it's like Pittore, but I'm not sure if you read that in Italian or in English. This should be Deutsch, like Schmida, German, and this is French, Madame de Rey. So what happens here is that I only have 2 copies, that's why I'm playing 2. So what I wanted to test is how good would have been Summoner Monk in this deck, as we are required to play a lot of spell cards thanks to the effect of the WITCHCRAFTERS that all share this effect. They have a quick effect in main phase that you can discard a spell card, tribute them, and special summon another WITCHCRAFTER monster from your deck. Of course, your main purpose will be to summon the Madame de Rey, because this is the boss. What it does, 2 effects. 1, during other player's turn, whenever you want, you can discard a spell card, negate the effect of all face-up monsters your opponent controls until the end of the turn, and then he has another effect. When a spellcaster type monster battles an opponent's monster, you can review in the damage calculation. So this appears to happen in the very last step, actually in the very last phase of the damage step. It's damage calculation. And you can reveal any number of spell cards, of different spell cards from your hand. The spellcaster monster that is battling actually gains 1000 attack and defense for each different spell cards you revealed. Very nice. Of course, the biggest effect is the effect negation, of course. Then the other WITCHCRAFTERS all have another effect in the graveyard. For example, you can banish Mira to send a WITCHCRAFTER spell to the graveyard. You can banish WITCHCRAFTER Pittore to draw 1 card. Then you have to discard a WITCHCRAFTER card. Otherwise, you have to banish your entire hand if you do not have one. And similarly to this, we have the WITCHCRAFTER spells that, if they are not activated but just discarded to the graveyard, so if they are into the graveyard that turn, at the end of the turn, but they have not been activated, they just come back to your hand as long as you control a WITCHCRAFTER monster on the field. So what's the point, of course, of all this? If you discard a WITCHCRAFTER spell with Summoner Monk and you bring out a WITCHCRAFTER monster, all the spell cards discarded with to activate Summoner Monk's effect gets recycled back to your hand. That's the purpose. So we have just 2 Unveiling, 2 Holiday, and 1 Collaboration. We have 1 Spellbook of Knowledge because we play all spellcasters, so we happen to have this in our hand. We can just send a spellcaster to the graveyard to draw a couple of cards. I'm not playing the level 1 or 2 monster, the spellbook monster, just because I need room for this. The Book of Moon and the Forbidden Lens. Actually, the Forbidden Lens is more important than everything else, as of course, if your opponent just begins with Dark Hole or Book of Moon and you have your only Verray as a protection, you're gonna be screwed. So that's why we need the triple Forbidden Lens, or of course, I mean, Forbidden Lens is a little bit versatile, but if you do not have it, just go with some normal back row protection like Typhoon or Cyclone or whatever you want. Couple of Book of Moon, because why not? I mean, in terms of spell cards, that can be a protection as well. That's it. And what else we have? So what does precisely Summoner Monk add to this deck? Simply one combo. Apart from being, of course, apart from the fact that he increases the consistency of getting your Vere out, just because with Summoner Monk you can summon your Shmira, and then with Shmira you can just go into Vere from the deck, really that easily. But what happens is that if you happen to begin the duel with at least one, actually two spells, one of them being a Witchcrafter one, you are basically done with actually you need two Witchcrafter spells, to be honest. Two Witchcrafter spells and one Summoner Monk. You're gonna end up your first turn with an Evil Swarm Nightmare, not actually to be sleepy on, and Everrace. So you have double Floodgate, actually double Flipta, double Canadia without targeting, and in effect negation. As you're gonna see in one of the replays, in the end I misplayed, but just to show you how the deck works. Of course, guys, forgive me for all the misplays that I make with all this new deck, but because I'm not familiar with them, I do not have the time to play them a lot and actually learn to play them in the correct and optimal way. So forgive me for that. But I just want to share with you the ideas of the concept of the deck, of course. And so you can simply end up with this guy and the Vere. Also, even if you have Summoner Monk later in the duel, it can just be a very nice rank 4 XC summoner, or for example stuff for your Link. As you can see right there, we play Brute Enforcer, we play Nightmare Phoenix, the Unicorn as well, and the Firewall Dragon, because we can spam a lot of monsters with Summoner Monk, and we can keep on recycling the spell cards. So that's why how easily it is to go with that. Not a crazy deck. I managed to reach Legend rank 2 from Legend rank 1, as you will see in the replays. But of course, if your opponents get a couple of back row to begin with, or actually a back row to begin with, a Book of Moon or Darkhold, and you do not have your Forbidden Lens, you're basically screwed. So that's the thing, because we played on back rows. And guys, that is all for the explanation, and we can jump right into the replays. Here we go, my boys. First replay against Seto Kaiba from DSOD Ultimate Dragons. Right now I was playing a version with the berry and the kiwi, but it didn't make it actually, like, it was not the best one. But I actually leave it there just to show you how it works with, of course, our Summoner Monk. We had the berry to grab another berry, then nothing more, was just sitting there, as well as he was. There you go, our boy Summoner Monk to discard a spell card, summoning the Witchcrafter, then going into the Nightmare Phoenix to get rid of a back row. He has the warning point, that's fine. He actually was able to do his job. Then we went with the effect of Shmira to summon the Madame Vere. There you go. Shmira to send another monster. Then I negated the effect of Maiden just to be able to attack with our Madame Vere, but he's got Providence. In the moment I tried to boost myself up, what a mistake. But it's got another set card, and we have the holiday, so we're chilling, short of nightmares to recycle another spell card. So when we do not need the monk in our hand, that's simply how you do it, with show on nightmares, then holiday to bring back the Madame Vere again. But look at that, he's got Mirror Force to clear everything. That was a surprise. So he can't do nothing still, we're still actually there. I just went with the Pitore, of course I waited for the hand phase, as I'm gonna recycle all my spell cards back to my hand. Holiday included. He's got another set card and phase just to bring out Ishmira. Then we got everything we need. Holiday to bring out the Verray, then Verray to negate the effect, Collaboration to attack a couple of times. He's got the effect of Maiden negated, of course. There you go. He can't activate spell or trap cards for the effect of Collaboration. I also have an Unveiling in my hand, so I'm kinda chilling right now. And he just scooped. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Second duel, my boys, it's me to go first. And we have the boy, as you can see right there. So guys, don't actually give attention to the different spell cards. I tried different stuff, but in the end, the triple lens was just mandatory. I tried the spellbook of wisdom, replacing one of the forbidden lands. That can actually could be a good thing, just to have more different spell cards when you happen to use the effect of Verray to boost yourself up. That's the only reason. So you can actually use this. We have the Summoner Monk, as you can see, to summon a Shmira, and then Shmira to summon Verray. But this, keep in mind that this was actually a mistake. I could have simply gone into another Monk and then into Shmira. The only problem is that then I wouldn't have another spell card to negate the effect of Verray. That's why I went to do that. But with the other build, of course, with the other combo, I would have had a Nevil's Womb Nightmare in my hand. So, and that's it. I actually ended up with 2, because if you use Shmir as a fact, you can send a Holiday to the graveyard or whatever Witchcrafter spell you want. So Vega to begin with, that's just how easy it is. Verray says no thank you, and we're good to go. He's got no back rows, unfortunately for him, and I can just go into Witchcrafter Collaboration, attack a couple of times, boost it up, and I have lethal. So most of the times, of course, the Verray's effect just stops everything. So if your opponent does not have luck and get some of some of the spell cards, you're really pretty good to go. So we have the third replay right there. This was my rank up duel, as you can see right there. To legend rank 2. It's him to go first, only one spell. So as you can see, I also tried the Sky Striker jamming waves in all the stuff to see which spell actually worked better. It's got favorite duel, so it's got a lot of stuff right now, really a lot of stuff. Double draw, double set. It does not look good for us. So Shmira to begin with, I just went with our Verray, and then Shmira to guarantee us a spell card in our hand to negate its effect. He's got Stratos again. Not negating that because it's not a problem. We need to negate an eventual Neos fusion. There you go, exactly as I predicted, into Grand Neos. I just went with, I waited for him to activate the effect, then I just negated everything, and I was chilling because at this point, even the effect of Neos Knight is negated, so it's no longer 2900, and he has nothing to go over my Verray. At this point, I just summoned the Pytora, and I went with Knowledge to draw a couple of cards, then Pytora to draw an extra card. I discarded the Jenny, then Show Nightmare to recycle a spell card, and I went with Unveiling to have my Shmira out, but unfortunately it's got the Bottomless. I still recycle my Holiday, so I'm chilling. I used Neos Fusion to save his Grand Neos, not a good thing, as now I can just, as you can see right there, go with Verray. He's got Book of Moon, but that was a mistake. He should have done Book of Moon before. So Mace playing this case from his side. Then he went with Miracle Fusion to summon a Brave Neos, as you can see right there. But these would not help him, as you can see, I can just boost up my little girl, actually big girl, into more defense, and then he just scooped. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Last but not least, and this was a loss, and this is actually to show you the ideal turn 1 with Summoner Monk and 2 Witchcrafter spells. As you can see, Summoner Monk number 1 using the effect, summoning another one, then summoning the third one with the other Witchcrafter spell. Of course, you have to be sure that those Witchcrafter spells are different, right? So we end the turn with a Nevil's Womb Nightmare, right? And then in the end phase, both the spell come back to my hand. So during his turn, I can not only summon a Verray with the effect of Shmira, but I also have a negation for the Verray that I just summoned. Exactly as I told. Actually, he did nothing, as you can see. It kind of bricked, but as you will see, it didn't brick. So I just went with the Verray at this point. Pittura to draw an extra card. Then I went with Witchcrafter Collaboration, and I just attacked. Then I made a mistake, because I left this in my hands. It was a mistake because in the end phase, I would have recycled the Unveiling. So that was a complete mistake right there. I attacked, and of course he's got an Entrap, he's got the Kuribo, so Unveiling right there. Actually, Book of Moon would have saved me right now. It's got Destiny Draw, of course, and what would I have picked? Darkhold. I can't do nothing against Darkhold. He only plays one copy, but with Destiny Draw is comprehensible. He just popped everything, and at this point he just went on with this stuff. He had the Battery Solar, he had the Thunder Dragon Roar, so he can summon the Hawk, and he just speed things up. At this point I could have stopped him, you know, at this point just there with the Book of Moon, maybe setting the Dragon Dog to not made him search. But he had nothing, so he went with 60 Dragon, then Thunder Dragon to grab the duo, and he had more than a little, as you can see right there. So that was my misplay, of course, but as you can see, the first turn one is a very good one. So when we're gonna have at least another Witchcrafter spell, this deck is gonna be a thing, as with just one Summoner Monk and a couple of Witchcrafter spell, you set up a very good turn one. Also, as you can see, one of the cards was just Witchcrafter Jenny that happened to be useless, but just imagine if we have instead of Jenny, a Forbidden Lance to protect from an eventual Darkhold. We have basically an unbreakable board with two flip down with Evilsborn Nightmare that does not target. We have a complete effect negation with the Ray and the Forbidden Lance to protect our girl from an eventual Darkhold or Book of Moon. So guys, that was all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the idea. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Even of course, if you have ideas to improve this, you know guys, I always listen to your suggestions. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.